Chat, here we go. We have Firstkiller versus Kv1, a match that has actually never happened before. In case you were wondering whether or not Kv1 had tried to play against Firstkiller on a huge ping disadvantage, they never have. Kv1 frequently plays on US East and attempts to take down the best of the best with a massive 140 ping. But today, he'll be playing with 72 ping to Firstkiller's 36. Firstkiller and the FaZe are going to be at the Winter Major in San Diego, but they aren't there yet. So he's still on the East Coast. Kv1 and Secret are already in California. So we tried to find a somewhat central server, and I think we got a pretty decent one. 36-72, not too bad. 72 is certainly playable. It's half of what Kv1 is used to playing with. And so we're running the best of 5 today. We've already had some donations to the prize pool. I started off at a nice 100, and since then, I believe we've had about 110 additional added to the prize pool. So $210 best of 5, winner takes all between Firstkiller and Kv1. And if you ask me, I think this is going to be a pretty close matchup. I want to say that the state of Kv1 and his 1v1 ability on even ping that we've seen from him in the past is up there with the best of the best in the US, and Firstkiller is definitely part of the best of the best. And not only that, but they play fairly similarly. Someone mentioned this as they came into the chat, and I kind of agree. They are both very fast 1v1 players. They like to be all over the ball and just go breakneck speeds. And we'll see if that's how it plays out today. Firstkiller looking for his first goal. Almost got a long air dribble. Somehow Kv1 pinches this with the post and out. And now Firstkiller's got to fly away. Kv1, normally the kind of guy, whether he's doing it because of his ping or not, to just dive and constantly stay on the ball. Like as he backs up to the midfield here, I think this is smart by Firstkiller to intercept the ball early, because if he lets it come to the ground, Kv1 will be there. Way to pogo from Firstkiller off the bounce. An interesting way for Firstkiller to score his first. I want to watch it again from Kv1's perspective. It's like a horizontal pogo. I mean, normally you get really vertical in order to get the extra pop, but it was a pogo nonetheless. And the follow-up for the first goal, Firstkiller's had to get creative in his attempts to score on Kv1. Kv1 has been scoring in classic fashion, which I believe he had one kickoff goal and then maybe even 2 quick kickoff goals to start this game. Now Kv1, for a moment, shadowing and pre-jumping to discourage a potential dribble, but he's back down to the ground. You see after that single jump, using that second jump to push himself to the ground quicker so he could turn and challenge. Firstkiller, nice speed. This is the kind of kickoff goal that I think Kv1 got earlier. Firstkiller's going to match it. We saw Kv1 hit it off the wall. First is going to drop it to the ground, and it's still too quick. Kv1 can't stop it. Kickoff win for Kv1. Diving into Firstkiller's back corner to make sure he's starved. And ultimately winning a possession now as Firstkiller backs off to grab 100. Big challenge. Might have gotten Kv1 to flick early. Now it's Firstkiller trying to control this and get it on target. What a flick. I was about to say it's a tough position to make a scoring chance out of when your dribble is headed straight down the side wall, but he collects it and launches a flick just inside the post. Kv1 was going to try and backflip challenge it early. Firstkiller gets it past him, so Firstkiller getting warmed up now after the early Kv1 surge. The kickoff game also fairly equal, definitely something to keep your eye on as the series goes on. Kv1 has been known to blow people out. It could be a back and forth game, and then with a minute left to go, all of a sudden, it's a 5-goal lead for Kv1 as he slams in kickoff goal after kickoff goal after kickoff goal. And the problem with him is he's going to be able to pre-flip. What a save from Firstkiller. Uses every ounce of his boost to get it. I thought for sure that was a goal. Kv1 had gotten it over the top of Firstkiller, but the pre-flip kept him in it. Now it's Firstkiller to the ceiling. The aerial game for him has been working well, and it looked like he was trying to get another reset, but he's not even going to need that reset. Kv1 turns and dives Firstkiller just flipping into the ball unexpectedly. I don't think Kv1 thought he was going for that second touch there. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been diving in so low. This always keeps you in the game. When you're Kv1, you're never out of the game because just gets a nice quick kickoff goal. Stream is laggy again. That's interesting. Some of you saying it's perfect. It says I'm not dropping any frames. I'm not messing around with, trying to co-stream like I did yesterday. You think Twitch is having issues? Oh, okay. That is good to know. And it's what I want to believe, so I'll just believe whatever I want to believe, which is that it's Twitch's fault and not mine. Firstkiller backflip to launch this one to the moon. Very crucial goal. Going to be scored by either one of these players as we move under the minute mark. Kv1 should have this midfield boost. Firstkiller trying to be aggressive on the ball. Kv1 undercuts him. So now possession with Firstkiller on pads. Interesting flick from Kv1. And it's actually going to be a goal. He gets almost no movement on the ball at all. It ends up directing the exact way he originally was guiding it, and that almost works as a fake. I mean, I don't know if Kv1 meant to fake that flick, but you see Firstkiller jumping, prepping for the ball to be moved to that left post from Kv1's perspective because that's where he was angling it, but instead rolls directly in. So a 5-4 lead in a kickoff possession for Kv1. Goal line 50. Firstkiller has the save and actually has the recovery to the corner boost, which is a huge recovery. Kv1 could pretty much starve the rest of the game out if he wins the race to that corner. Instead, Firstkiller is going to get one last opportunity as the clock winds down. A flick just a bit high. The follow-up is in. Kv1 tried to be patient. Didn't want to waste boost on a flick that was not on target. But he gets caught looking up at the ball for just a few moments, not recognizing that Firstkiller is willing to turn and challenge that ball, which he should have realized because Firstkiller needed a goal. Kv1 was playing it like it was early in the game and Firstkiller was going to be safe and back off. Look at this shot from Firstkiller. Not only is he back in the game, he has the lead. Kv1 had maybe the accidental kickoff. I'm not sure what he meant to do there. But it's just a really smooth catch. 100-km/h rolling shot. Really, it all comes down to whatever that kickoff was for Kv1, where he jumped from the starting position all the way to the ball. I've seen players get away with it before, and for a brief month or so, people were doing it so often, I figured they might be doing it on purpose, but I think Kv1's was a mistake. Firstkiller escaping out of his own nets after the save to make it 7-5. You can see Kv1 dropping the controller. He knows that he's likely lost game number one. Kv1, can he give us a clip for the road? Firstkiller is going to let him score whatever he wants, but he'll just let it hit the ground. Game number one to Firstkiller in the best of 5. Game 2, a back and forth bout in the first 5 minutes. I expect to see more of the same as the series goes on. Kv1 just needs to clean up a couple mistakes late in that game. Probably has it go into overtime with a chance to win. First possession in this game goes to him. He's done enough flicking towards the top shelf. The Firstkiller feels it necessary to prepare for the pop, and below 50 is one out. The Firstkiller didn't commit too hard with his single jump. It was enough. Firstkiller getting the second kickoff win, decides to go the simple route of just trying to accelerate the ball past Kv1. Kv1 pre-jumps to intercept this setup. It's actually a really ambitious pre-jump considering Kv1 is now left with almost no boost to work with, and yet still it's going to pay off. Kv1, he has always been about challenging as early as possible, but he seems to be stretching that even more with that zero boost pre-jump. It wasn't a zero boost pre-jump. He just used every boost he had and was left over with 0. Kickoff win for Kv1. Just putting a soft flick on target to force Firstkiller into net. He knows Firstkiller's low on boost, and he wants to put him in a bad position as well. He's trying to play this as safe as possible. There's the fake. Kv1 has an easy tap in now. Firstkiller on ropes right now. I mean, he had to try and grab that pad in reverse for this challenge. Kv1 has him dancing around the field. Firstkiller's been primarily going to his aerial game so far today, and he's going to do a similar variant that Kv1 got him with to start the game, which is not to shoot in the air and punish the pre-jump by going low. Kv1 touches the ball slightly, but he had already been beat. Wave dash kickoff for Kv1, or sorry, for Firstkiller, and it works to perfection. Not much more you could want. Kv1, who is known for his kickoffs, is not necessarily known for his variation. Just has one of the most perfect standard kickoffs and one of the best counters. Like it were rock, paper, scissors to the standard kickoff is a decent wave dash kickoff. That's what Firstkiller is doing right now. The wave dash kickoff usually results in a bit more of a neutral bounce off center field. You know, instead of getting direct goals, it's likely to just push off to the sides, and then your wave dash accelerates you to the ball faster than the player who went standard, and then from there you should have the advantage. And that's what Firstkiller is trying to play right now. Chasing Kv1 down, could not get the demo. Has the ball in a dangerous enough spot though that he can feel confident. Looking to put more pressure on Kv1. Buys himself a bit of time to grab boost, and Kv1's got to be very, very low. Firstkiller knows it. Kv1 sends this one to the back wall. Look at the double from Firstkiller. It's actually pretty important that he does this too. I think if he puts it on target immediately, Kv1 might have a better chance at saving it. He might have been able to slot bottom right, but the key was he needed to put it nowhere on the left side of the field. And if that meant you have to double it off the right back wall before it going in, then so be it. Firstkiller tying the game and just taking a keep away touch in order to buy himself a bit of time. Kv1 will still control, but it'll be only after Firstkiller is able to go back and grab boost now. Half flip from Firstkiller. Delays as Kv1 tries to bump him and interrupt the play. He knows that that's coming, and that if he just waits a brief moment, he has a free shot. You see Kv1 very intentionally, not even thinking about the ball. Kv1 is trying to bump Firstkiller off the line of his shot as a way to play defense. Firstkiller doesn't allow him to. Kv1 cool shotting Firstkiller at the ball. And now Firstkiller should have a freebie. He actually takes his time and looks for a fake by going slow. Kv1 keeps himself only down one. Trying to go for a speedy flick. Actually still has the ball in a pretty decent position. Big jumping to keep Firstkiller down. And what a save from Firstkiller. Forces it off the post. Kv1 keeps possession though. Has another chance to attack. Firstkiller came way too far out, but actually might be able to stop Kv1. This is such erratic defense from Firstkiller. Bringing himself all the way out to the side wall as Kv1 starts his dribble. Kv1 recognizes that, plays it quickly past him, and yet Firstkiller still makes it back. This is such an unorthodox series of shot attempts here on the goal line. Kv1 back to midfield, has held on to possession this whole time. Firstkiller will not let him through. Pre-jumps his dribble and clears this shot out. Kv1 running out of boost now. He's had the boost advantage this whole time, but that'll be gone. It'll be Firstkiller escaping the minute-long attack of Kv1, and now he's the other way. Resets off the backboard. He just passed to Kv1, but he recovered in an attempt to keep control. Kv1's got to be at least a little bit frustrated after so many different solid shot attempts. Firstkiller. Oh, Kv1 had the save. I couldn't really see. I didn't know if he was going to find the angle or not, but Kv1 might have been there to stop it. Oh, this is the one that goes in. I was going to say Kv1 almost out of frustration, just going to slam a power shot on because everything around the net wasn't seemingly working. So he just tries to boom one, and it turns out that's all you need to do. 117 km/h, and Firstkiller was not able to get there. Even if he had the read, he was already out of position. So a tie game. Firstkiller doing his best to control this. What a pass to himself off the back wall with 100 boost. Firstkiller. This sequence is incredible. I hope it goes back and shows us enough of it. That doink into the back wall and the dashing out of the curve to keep max speed and use his boost advantage to take the long shot. I mean, that may look boring, but that was one of the best mechanical plays that has happened all series long. In order to get himself the lead here, he's going to try and go for another. Wait, this bump on Kv1 will be a 2-goal lead. Kv1 was okay until the bump. He steals Firstkiller's boost, who misses wide, and then Kv1 trying to greed out another corner, looked to turn in front of Firstkiller and either bump him or go steal the back corner, which he didn't need to do. He could have focused on the ball, and I don't think he would have been bumped. But with that bump, it secured his fate. Luckily for him, he is Kv1. So he's getting 1 or 2 of these kickoffs a game. And I wonder if Firstkiller went back to standard. No, he did try and go wave dash kickoff, but Kv1 still just wins it outright. Wave dash kickoff match by Kv1. 20 seconds. Hard first touch. Oh my goodness, how did he kill this on the goal line? It's still a little bit too much movement. Going that quickly, it's almost impossible to stop it on the goal line like that, and ultimately Kv1 didn't. It had just enough lateral movement that he couldn't get around it for a shot. And then after this clear, he knew it. He just kind of lets go of the controller there. Another late lead for Firstkiller. Close down to the wire. But Firstkiller, in the moments that matter, gets a 2-goal lead. So Kv1 gets another chance to put one in for fun, but he won't. 2-0 for Firstkiller. Kv1 got to shake it off and finish out a game if he wants to prevent the Firstkiller sweep. The final minute has belonged to Firstkiller, and that's really been the only separating factor, I would say, so far between these two. When the game is on the line and the scoreline is tied, Firstkiller has brought out something special every time. And Kv1 has decided to match him on these wave dash kickoffs, which is a good idea considering how they were going for him. At least keeping Firstkiller guessing is essential. I believe these two might have even switched up who was wave dashing and who was taking a standard. Kv1 is thinking about that midfield boost, but I don't think he'll be able to get it. Nice play. He doesn't need it. Kv1 staying in the play as much as possible. Even though he wasn't going to be able to get that boost, you'd see other players back off and go, all right, I'm not going to be able to get boost. I don't want to make a 0 boost possession. I'd rather reset and have 100. I feel safer that way. Not Kv1. He is going to force Firstkiller to decide, you want possession or do you want the 100? And then finds a way to score with 0 after being given the possession. Firstkiller trying to air dribble over the top of Kv1. Didn't get it there in time, but will intercept this wall touch and get his first goal. Just not the setup that Kv1 wanted. I don't know what he was going for, but if we were to run it back, I'm sure he's not setting up that same thing. He just double jumps it directly into Firstkiller. He'll have to back off now. Firstkiller, the one with low boost. He's hoping to get a flick out past Kv1. Kv1 trying to take the ball away from Firstkiller. Brings it to the right side of the field to set up his dribble. Firstkiller's up, and he's bumped, but he got the save, and he recovers quickly to his boost. That has been one of the key factors for Firstkiller. He does not let possessions last very long. You have to be perfect. Otherwise, he is going to beat you in the race to the boost and reset the possession. Kv1 trying to surprise Firstkiller there maybe a little bit as he power slid to Shadow and then just jumped immediately. Maybe just recognizing that Firstkiller was going into the air, and so the power slide surprise backflip wasn't going to work out. We have seen Kv1 dabble in that challenge a lot. Will he go for another bump attempt here? No, instead, backs off the ball. Often you can make a defender softly tap the ball out to you just by rolling something slow right at the back of their car. That's essentially what Kv1's done. Can he hold on to this possession as Firstkiller does his best to take it away? Firstkiller might have even scored. He did. The lead for Firstkiller. Firstkiller right now beating Kv1 in his own game. There's nothing Kv1 loves more than races for the ball at the midfield, something that he's used to beating almost everybody at. Firstkiller has been cleaner there in this game. Reads the pre-jump of Kv1. Kv1 able to come from behind to pinch this one off the backboard. Doesn't have the boost to feel confident going for that save. Instead, he'd rather save his 22. Back down to the ground. Now Kv1 with space. So far, Firstkiller has been saving the majority of these attempts. Can Kv1 find a way to get it back on target? He can! Firstkiller almost made it back. This was a tough angle. Got Firstkiller to miss, but had to go just a bit too high to do it. And that's a great shot in and out of the net by Kv1. Had to put a soft touch back on target, but he does it to tie the game. Kv1 bumping on the kickoff. He's going to this aerial game a lot more now, and he finds a way to score with it. This air dribble actually wasn't even on target. He's sending it to the back wall. Firstkiller had that awkward recovery, though, and it can be so tough to handle anything around the bottom right or bottom left corner of the net, right where the curve on the wall is hard to keep speed on. Kv1, this is the classic. If you're wondering what the Kv1 classic kickoff goal, that is it right there. His opponent agreeing to go to a standard kickoff with him and him just destroying it perfectly goal side. Faster than anybody else can handle. Firstkiller wants to take this one to the ground. The pogo! It's in! You can see Kv1 adjusting as Firstkiller reacts to the pre-jump of Kv1. He decides to take it back down to the ground. And Kv1 thinks he's going to be able to challenge him as he reaches there, but no. Firstkiller launches the pogo on target. Firstkiller, the kickoff win into the wall to air dribble. Gets bumped off the line for the double touch. And Kv1 had a chance for an open net. I think he's probably a bit frustrated at missing that one. Certainly, it was possible to get it on target. Kv1 from the back corner. He is joining Firstkiller in the aerial game now. Needs to bump him if he wants to prevent this goal. Slowed him down just enough. He's had the lead many times against Firstkiller, but Firstkiller always finds his way back. And one of the ways that that's been happening a lot is Kv1 has been too passive on the goal line. Whether that's because he has no other choice to. Firstkiller will miss on his first shot, and then Kv1 waits too long to try and intercept the ball. Firstkiller's up to it faster. Now, I'm not sure that there's really anything Kv1 could do about it on the previous possession. Maybe he's already too deep underneath. So all was lost already, but he has to recognize that Firstkiller is going to be up to the ball quickly. Firstkiller wins the race to the boost. In fact, gets a goal out of it, or at least he should. He missed the shot wide. And he just undercuts Kv1 to guarantee it. Wow, what a great bit of keep away. I mean, Firstkiller just should have had that goal right there. But after not getting it, he bumps Kv1, who wave dashes onto the back wall to have a chance at saving it. But Firstkiller triple touches it into the top right to tie the game. Kv1, he's had enough of the kickoffs. Normally that's his thing, but now just lets Firstkiller have a possession. Firstkiller, while it's air dribble reset, seems to be a mistake. Firstkiller, too good when given space and time. You see the slight hitch as Firstkiller looks to set that up. Wouldn't surprise me if he's doing that intentionally to throw off Kv1's setup in net. Kv1 not going to be able to get that on target, and that'll be a Firstkiller 2-goal lead as these both have no boost left. Firstkiller already a step ahead. Kv1 needed to not shoot that side flip shot. It was a bit of a desperation attempt because it's pretty high risk since you have to get a ridiculous angle to score it, and you had to have known that missing it would mean that Firstkiller was scoring the other way, and now Firstkiller taking advantage of Kv1, rolling off the inside. 51 seconds. It's going to have to be some kickoff magic. If there's any player to believe in, Kv1 is one of them, but Firstkiller has at least matched him today. Single jumping to try and avoid the follow-up demo, but Firstkiller was not going for the follow-up demo. He just takes the ball away and taps it past Kv1 for the 10-6 lead. Firstkiller is looking way too good. Kv1, a 7th goal. 30 seconds to get 3. What will we see from him? We'll watch it from his perspective. Any delays, any mix-ups. He'll just trust in his standard kickoff. He actually matched his Firstkiller in the standard, and Firstkiller wins it out for 11-7 lead. It seems like it's just Firstkiller's day today. In a matchup of similar play styles, Firstkiller has proven to have the edge. Kv1 waved that shot, saved off the post. The follow-up is in. So if you're a dreamer and a Kv1 fan, you can continue to dream. Kickoff win for Kv1. Firstkiller pinches it away. Wait, is it on target? It's not on target. He took his ball cam off, so I didn't get to see. Kv1 will not even be allowed to try and clip to end the game this time. Firstkiller intercepts it. It's GG's. The $200 and I believe $10 prize pool that we finished off with will be going to Firstkiller in a 3-0 sweep over Kv1.